Hey guys, it's your London Brit, and welcome to another episode of the Go Get Her podcast. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button. You want to stay here. If you're not new here, hey girl, hey, and welcome back. So thank you all for being here. Thank you all for listening. If you're listening on the audio version or if you're watching me on YouTube, hey girl, hey. I'm wearing my Never Too Fly to Pray from Kayvon Ziora. But let's get into this, okay? Because first things first, it's been a lot going on in your girl's world. I have not been here in 2 weeks. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And I know probably for the last 2 episodes, I've been saying I'm sorry, but give your girl some grace, okay? Forgive me. I have really, really been struggling to be consistent with recording because it's just been so much going on with work, motherhood, all the things, the holidays. I went to my family's house in Virginia for Thanksgiving. So it has been a lot going on, but a lot of good things. Nothing bad, Unfortunately, RSV hit our family. Well, not our family, hit River this week. So making sure she's okay, making sure nobody else in the house gets it. I woke up coughing crazy yesterday. Was choking during the night because I was coughing so much. Oh my God, it was terrible. But by God's grace and strength, we all woke up this morning. We have another day. But yes, keep my baby girl in prayer. She's doing much, 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 much better. Thank you, God, much better. But I was just devastated when I took her to the doctor. Like when they told me she had RSV, I was like, huh? But unfortunately, one of the other little babies at daycare had it. So I hope that he's doing okay too. I hope he's feeling better. And yeah, so I just want to tell you guys, I love you so much. Thank you to all my supporters, all the OGs who've been here since the beginning, all of my new supporters. I appreciate you guys so, so much. I am restructuring the podcast. I'm actually doing some new things with like my background for right now. So as you can see, it's very bare. I usually have my artwork behind me, but I am for the new year for 2025 definitely restructuring the pod and just switching up a few things. Not too much, but I do. This has been given to me by God and also just from my peers. I do want to make sure that I am helping those listening, watching, those around me while I am still learning. I want to help those that are listening learn the Bible because this is our tool. This is our tool to become greater, to become stronger, to become resilient when we're going through things, when life is lifing. God still be God it. And anything that you are going through, you can look in this good old book and you can find the answers. The quote I said this before in a previous episode. I think it's with Jazzy Nicole, my special guest that I had. When we pray, that's when we're talking to God. But when we read our word, that's Him speaking back to us. And it's just important to just have this sword and cover ourselves in the armor of the Lord. So I have really been intentional about learning my word, engraving it on my heart. No, I'm not perfect, but I have come a very, very long way. No, I'm not where I want to be, but again, I have come a very, very long way. And that is because I'm leaning on God and I'm intentional about learning His word. So I want to still keep the same structure, sharing my testimony, sharing my stories. But I also want to include the word more. So that way, when you're listening to me, okay, you can relate, great. But how can I, as a listener, go in the Bible and find a way to learn what you're talking about a little bit deeper? I want you to take away more from each episode. So today, we're going to be talking about Joseph's story in Genesis. I read the full chapter of Genesis. I told you guys that before, but I'm just so proud of myself. But Today we're going to be talking about the power of position, and baby, this story sums it all up. Okay. Pretty much Joseph's story is just, it really, really touched me. It humbled me, and it really showed me how important forgiveness is. But we're going to get into all of that. Before we do, I want to just give you guys a little life update. So, a lot of changes happening at work. For those of you who are new, I work at a radiology office. I'm going on 5 years, but I left in August. Just to give a quick recap, I left in August. I was a scheduler. I am now back, started back in October. I was called back to be the scheduling supervisor. I am currently, wow, it's been 3 months. That's crazy. So yeah, 3 months in, currently 3 months in, and so many changes have happened since October. So I now have a new director. Love her down, love her down. I like the way she manages. I think she's a great leader. I think I can learn a lot from her. I have learned a lot from her from these 2 weeks that she has been with us now. It has helped me grow in ways that I didn't even know I needed to grow. So love her down. I think she's amazing. Um, but it's just a lot of changes happening. It's a new sheriff in town. So a lot of changes are taking place. Everybody's not with it. But listen, hey, if you ain't growing, what are we doing? We're staying stagnant. So it's either grow, move forward, or hit the dough, pretty much. But, just long story short, I was unhappy. When I was a scheduler, I was unhappy with the things that were happening in the office, upper management. I didn't like the way that they were handling things. But who am I? I voiced my opinion. Nothing changed. So I'm like, you know what? I'm out. Like, the money ain't making no sense. Yeah, got me doing X, Y, and Z. I'm not hearing nothing about a promotion. Yeah, I'm out. I just felt like my time was up there. Um, I truly felt like I was out of position. I felt like maybe God, whatever you wanted me to do here, it's done. you know? Um, so I quit. And I had a very, very, very hard time doing that. It was hard. I have a whole family. God was definitely pushing me to do that for a while before I did it. But once I did it, I felt so relieved and I found peace. I found peace. But during that time, I was able to get into my word more, spend more intimate time with God, really sit down and give it all to Him, leave it at His feet, and let Him do what He do. And He showed me that I only have to rely on Him. And that is it. Okay? But during that time, like I said, I gained a lot of peace because I was really heavily into my word. And once I came back here, same place, like I said, I thought I was out of position. No, I was at the right place, but in the wrong position. That season was up. God now brought me back to the same place, promoted me, and now has me in a position where I can help others grow. And I can help others become leaders. And I can help others in the workplace and outside of the workplace. So it is important to realize that God, He knows what He's doing. We don't. We just have to learn to be obedient. We have to learn to shift our perspective, not look everything as a negative. God, why is this happening to me? No, God, okay. What do you want me to learn from this? What do you want me to take away from this? What are you trying to tell me? What are you trying to pull me away from? What are you trying to push me towards? Like those are the questions we need to ask. But again, I was in the right place, but in the wrong position. So the power of position is very important. I'm now in a position to help others become leaders. And I love that for them. And I love that for me. And my new manager has even said to me, like, from what I've been told and what I've seen, you're ready to move up. You're ready to move up. So God is doing his thing. Like, yes, I'm busy. Yes, I'm tired. Yes, it's a lot at once, but I'm letting him move and getting things into position the way he wants it to be. Because all of this happening so fast and so much at once is only God. It's only God. And not that I didn't like the previous leadership personally, but the way that the leadership was, I did not really agree with a lot. So I felt like me coming back now as a leader, I'm going to bump heads with this person because we don't see eye to eye with a lot. We get along great, but certain things that I think things should go, they don't look at it that way. So now that God has put somebody else in this position, me and her see eye to eye with pretty much everything. And the way we see things that should be ran a certain way with certain, people, we see eye to eye. And things are moving along very much so the way that God intended it to be. Because we are in alignment. I feel like me and her. We are in alignment. Now, it's certain things that okay, I'll be obedient. There's certain things that I don't want to say because there's certain things that are in play and certain people watch this podcast that work there. So I don't want to say too much if you get me. Um, but all I'm gonna say is a lot of changes are about to take place. But I'm happy that I'm in a position where I can now be a part of that positive change because like I said, when I was a scheduler, I would voice my opinion, but who am I? I can't make the changes. But now I am in a position. God put me in a position to now I can implement those changes. I can speak to my director and say, hey, listen, this is not working. Let's try this. And she'll totally be open to it. So far, she seems like she's like very open to things. And when I present it to her, she's like, go for it. If it works, great. If it doesn't, we'll resurface. So the power of position is very important. And it's very important for you to have a mindset where God, I'm doing this for you and you only. Whatever seeds you want to be planted through me, I'm going to be obedient. I'm going to try my best to be obedient and do as you say when you say it and move accordingly. You can't, because like I said, I was a scheduler. So there's some people who don't feel comfortable now taking authority from me because I was just on their same level. So now it's like challenges with that, having those hard conversations. Hey, listen, I know I used to be your go-to person for this. I can no longer be that for you. I am so sorry because I am in a leadership role. There's just certain boundaries that I have to create. And this is one of them. Having those hard conversations, time and attendance. Like, they're looking at me like, you used to be the same. Now you're up here and I have to listen to you? Yeah, you do. If you want to keep your job, yeah, you do. Like just standing on business and not letting my emotions come to play and come to the table because it's not about my emotions. At the end of the day, I have a job to do. I have a family to feed. I have bills to pay. I'm going to do my job. That's why I really don't think in a workplace you have friends. Because when it comes to a baby, I'm saving myself. I don't think about you. We may be cool here and cordial, go out to lunch, great. But at the end of the day, I am not choosing you over my job. So I don't believe in having best friends or anything at work. We could be cool, you my homegirl, but when it comes down to it, this is my job and I have a job to do. But it's just been a lot, guys. It has been a lot. People have been rude to me. People have been cursing me out. And I'm just proud of myself. I've come a long way because, yeah. I'm going to just leave it there. I've come a long way where I could just say, all right, I'm going to walk away. I'm going to leave this alone. I'm going to choose my battles wisely because I can go there. I can definitely go there. And I don't want to. Because why? I've done so much work to leave that girl in the past. I'm not going to let one little moment or person try to get me out of character to get me there. Nope. Not doing it. Because that's what the enemy wants anyway. So, yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a lot of challenges, but nonetheless, it has been going good. And I'm excited for what's to come. But one of my goals with coming back was to really honestly and truly help these women be the best versions of themselves in the workplace and outside of the workplace. So, encouraging them, trying my best to encourage them. Some take it, some don't. That's okay. I did my part, you know? Um, but forgiveness is a big thing. Because like I said, people have been crazy with me and I'm just like, all right. And God's like, let it roll off like water, baby. Don't even sweat it. Don't even take it personal. Forgive them, move on, keep it flowing, keep it going. And that's not easy. That is not easy because you really playing in my face right now. But I'm gonna be obedient to what my father said, and just let this go. I'm not gonna go back and forth with you. I'm not gonna curse you back out. It's okay. Might be cursing out of my head though. I'm human, but it's definitely been some challenges. But we're gonna jump back into the word because what I want to show y'all is how the same people that are jealous of you, that envy you, that talk about you, throw dirt on your name, try to get rid of you, God has a way of making those same people now have to come to you for help, have to come to you to move on, have to come to you to be saved in a way, literally. um, but yeah, God is funny. God is really, really funny. So Joseph, again, this is in Genesis. Um, let's see exactly where Joseph's story starts. So for those of you, which I think you all should, who want to go and read, I'm gonna tell you exactly where Joseph's story starts. Okay, so I want to say Genesis 37 because this is kind of where I wrote a little bit, and I got it highlighted. So pretty much, a long story short, because again, what are you gonna do? You're gonna go read for yourself. But I'm just gonna give you a snippet of Joseph's story and tell you how it inspired me and how it correlates with what I was talking about the power of position. So Joseph pretty much, who's the son of Jacob, and he was one of Jacob's favorites. His brothers were jealous of him because he was having dreams, right? He was having dreams pretty much what they took it as is that he was trying to like say he's better than them. Like he's gonna be better off than them. He was having dreams, that they were like he was tying up grains. And suddenly this is Genesis 37, verse 5. One night, I'm going to read it exactly. One night, Joseph had a dream, and when he told his brothers about it, they hated him more than ever. Listen to this dream, he said. We were out in the field, tying up bundles of grain. Suddenly, my bundles stood up, and your bundles all gathered around and bowed low before mine. His brothers responded, so you think you will be our king, do you? Do you actually think you will reign over us? And they hated him all the way more because of his dreams and the way he talked about them. So Joseph is really just like, yo, I'm just sharing my dream with y'all. What's the beef, But they wasn't with it. They like, you think you better than us? You think you're gonna be our king? Like, you think you're gonna be better than us? Yeah, okay, we got something for you. So pretty much his brothers planned to kill him, okay? They took it that far. I was reading this and I was like, no way. The Bible is a page turner, baby, because I was like, ain't no way. I was judging them. But it's okay, because God always makes a way out of no way, okay? Long story short, they was planning to kill old Joseph, throw him in a cistern, and left him for dead, okay? That was their goal. But then, one of the brothers, Reuben, he was like, nah, I ain't with that. So he was like, no, sorry, let's go back. Their plan was to kill him. Like actually kill him, right? Then Reuben was like, nah, let's just throw him in a cistern. Left him for dead. But Reuben's plan was to go back and get him and bring him back to Jacob, right? So then they seen, who was it? I don't want to say it wrong. the immediate, I don't want to say it wrong. Hold on, y'all. The Ishmaelites, Ishmaelite traders, they seen them coming down and they was like, oh, we could just go sell Judah. One of the brothers was like, we could just go sell him to them. Let them take it. We ain't gotta worry about it. We ain't gotta cover up no crime. This is done and out the way. We plan achieved, plan accomplished. We got him out the way. We don't want him around. Done. Okay? So let's go back. First it was let's kill him. Reuben's plan was to save him, but Reuben said, nah, let's throw him here in the cistern. He'll die. Cool. We'll cover it up. We'll save animals, eat him up, blah, blah, blah. Then one of the other brothers, Judah, actually sold the brother. So this is just all wrong. This is just all wrong. Y'all are really on 10 right now. Y'all are really on Simon. Like, y'all are really dead wrong doing this to your brother. But it's cool, because God, what I said, always makes a way out of no way. God had a plan with Joseph. If we only knew the plans that God has for us, of course it don't make sense in a moment when we're going through, but if we trust him, we lean on him, we seek him in our word, in his word, we will understand things a little bit better, even in those deep, deep, dark seasons, even in those trials and tribulations. The word, baby, the word, the word, the word. I can't emphasize it enough. It's all in here. And I get it. Sometimes you may not feel like reading that, but this is what's going to save you. This is what's going to save you. And those people around you, your village, it's important to be surrounded by people who know the word, even if they don't know it from cover to cover, they know something just to share with you and inspire you and encourage you and to light that fire for you to say, you know what, today I'm getting up and I'm choosing you, God. It's important. But again, let's go back. So his brothers betrayed him. They wanted to kill him, left him for dead. Now they sold him, right? Our position. He was sold, he ended up being sold to one of the pharaohs in Egypt's officers. Cool. A little bit closer to where he should be now. A little bit closer. He don't understand in the moment, but he getting a little bit closer. Now he's working for the pharaoh's officer. Betrayed again. Now the wife is trying to seduce him. He's like, nah, shorty, I'm not with that. He loyal. He a loyal one. Joseph definitely a loyal one. He been betrayed so much, he's still a loyal one. God. Favor. Okay? He's like, shorty, I'm not with that. I'm not with it. So shorty lied and said that he raped her. What? I was reading this like, I know you lying. I was getting so pissed with my boy Joseph, right? So, all right, cool. Now he's in prison. For nothing. For nothing. Literally. For nothing. Shorty just had a dream. Like, if we go to the beginning, he had a dream and his brothers hated on him, and he's literally now sitting in prison for nothing. But God had a plan and purpose then, because God spoke to him and he was able to interpret dreams. So there was people in prison that he was now helping because of their dreams, right? Now, those two people that he was helping, you're going to see it when you read it, they were freed. He was still there. So he's saying like, yo, don't forget about me. Don't forget about me. Tell the Pharaoh about me. Don't forget about me. Time went on. He's still in prison. Ain't nobody coming for him, checking for him. But then Pharaoh started having dreams. And those two men, light bulb went off. They mentioned to Pharaoh, hey, that guy over there, he can interpret dreams. He might be able to tell you what them dreams is about. Okay? Power position. He's free. He's able to interpret the dreams from Pharaoh. Pharaoh now makes him ruler over Egypt. So this man, Joseph, one of a kind. This man went from having dreams to sharing it with his brothers. He didn't think that he doing nothing wrong. Sharing it with his brothers, sharing it with his dad. Even his dad, Jacob didn't even, not Jacob. No, yes, Jacob. Jacob didn't even understand. He was like, so you think you're going to be king over me and your mother? Like, he didn't even understand. He was seeking God though, and like trying to understand what is my son dreaming about. But this guy went from sharing dreams with his family, with his brothers. So his brothers now wanting to kill him. But they ended up selling him. Now he's over here with the Pharaoh's officer. Pharaoh's officer wife betrayed him, lied on him, said that he raped her. Now he's in jail. He's in jail still helping people. He could be so mean, not wanting to talk to anybody, not wanting to help nobody, bitter, angry, all the things, but he's still doing the Lord's work. And that's why he was blessed the way he was. He was still doing the Lord's work, interpreting dreams, helping people, all the things. Now he's helping Pharaoh. Pharaoh makes him rule over Egypt. We're going to fast forward because I ain't going to make this too long. We're going to fast forward to now. His brothers are literally at the point where they're about to die of starvation because there's a famine now in Canaan. But in Egypt, they're good because over those 7 years, those crops were just coming in, and Joseph was putting them away to a point where he couldn't even keep track. That's how much God was blessing him because he had him in a position where he was going to have to help others in Egypt and the cities surrounding Egypt. But he didn't know at the time, but okay. So now his brothers now have to go to Egypt and ask for his help. They don't even recognize him. They don't even recognize their own brother because in their mind, first of all, some of the brothers think he probably dead. But they're like, we sold him, we done with him. They done went on with his life. They told the dad he was dead. So in their mind, he dead. They don't care. They're not thinking about Joseph. They did not even recognize him. But of course, he recognized his brothers. In that moment, he could have been like, I'm not helping them. I am not helping. He probably could have tried to kill him. Like, there's just so many different ways this could have went. But like I said, he truly had a heart of gold. You know, this man was favored and loved by God because with God's strength, with God's grace, he kept him. He kept him. He kept him. And now he is in a position where he can now help his brothers who tried to kill him. Their livelihood literally depends on whether or not he is going to give them crops and grain so they can go back home and eat. But he says, wait a minute. Asking them questions like, is your dad still alive? Do you have another brother? Like, what's going on? He's trying to get some little information. And they answered him, yes, our father is still alive. Yes, we have another brother. So he's like, yeah, you ain't gonna see my face again unless you spin the block with your brother. Other than that, don't even come back. So they go back now. They're telling Jacob old. He's like, why would you tell this man that y'all have another brother? Why would you do that? And poor Jacob, he was so sad when they came back and told him Joseph was dead. Because like I said, Joseph was one of his favorites. He really was. He was so hurt. So hurt. And it's just a beautiful story. But they go back and they're like, listen, we could go back and forth. But the man said, don't come back and get no more nothing without bringing your brother. So if we don't bring him, we ain't eating. We gonna die. So what is it? Okay? Brings a brother. And I'm gonna just fast forward a little bit more because like I said, I want you guys to go read it. But I'm just giving you a little. But fast forward, they bring the brother. Joseph invites him to the palace to eat now, and they curious like, what's going on? You know? Eventually they recognize him. They feeling so sorry. So sorry. So sorry. Imagine how they are feeling. Now that their brother is now in position to help them. He has a palace, he's ruler over Egypt, and they're like, wow. Like we really tried to kill dude. But anyway, let's go to this. I'm gonna read this and we won't end it there. Because this was it for me. This was it for me. Hold on a minute. So, I mean, eventually Joseph reconnects with his dad. Unfortunately, he died shortly after. And at least his dad got to see, like, oh my God, my son was not dead. But in chapter 50, this is really what did it for me. I'm gonna read it. So now, dad dead. After burying Jacob, Joseph returned to Egypt with his brothers and all who had accompanied him to his father's burial. But now that their father was dead, Joseph's brother, became fearful. Now they like, he probably was only living because he didn't want to disappoint dad. Dad gone, he want to take us out. So they're shook, okay? They're shook. Now Joseph will show his anger and pay us back for all the wrong we did to him, they said. So they sent this message to Joseph. Before your father died, he instructed us to say to you, please forgive your brothers for the great wrong they did to you, for their sin in treating you so cruelly. So we, the servants of God, of your father, beg you to forgive our sin. When Joseph received this message, he broke down and wept. Then his brothers came and threw themselves down before Joseph. Look, we are your slaves, they said. But Joseph replied, don't be afraid of me. Am I God that I can punish you? You intended to harm me, but God intended it all for good. He brought me to this position, so I could save the lives of many people. No, don't be afraid. I will continue to take care of you and your children. So he reassured them by speaking kindly to them. I was bawling when I read this. I'm even getting emotional now because just imagine how Joseph felt in this moment. Y'all did me wrong, bro. Y'all tried to kill me. Y'all sold me away. I was lied on. I went to jail for nothing. I did not commit a crime. Y'all did me dirty, bro. Like, he didn't see his dad for years. He ain't around his family. He out here making it on his own, trying to find a way. And God still kept him for every single moment in his life where he felt like he was down and out, or he wasn't winning, or he was out of position. God put him in position to not only help his brothers, but to help others and save their lives. There was a famine, y'all, and he was the only one in Egypt who had access to food. Imagine how he felt in this moment. Imagine how you would feel in that moment. Let's take it to present day 2024. People betrayed you, people lied on you, threw dirt on your name, hurt you, and you want to have a bitter heart. You want to have a hardened heart. You want to be angry. But God is like, no, I don't want you to be that way. You can't be that way. Because look at where you are now. Because of that betrayal. Because of that hurt. I know in the moment it didn't feel good, but look at where I brought you to. It was all part of my plan to show glory for my name, to show that I can do all things. He was in jail, y'all, for a crime that he did not commit, all because of Shorty trying to seduce him. He's like, yo, I'm not with all of that. I'm here to work and do my job, and that's it. He was truly an honest and loyal man, heart of gold. But imagine how he felt in this moment. He's like to his brothers, y'all are good. Don't worry about it. I ain't gonna kill y'all. I ain't gonna torture y'all. Y'all good. I'm gonna take care of you and your family. Y'all are good. I probably would not have reacted that way. I don't know. But reading that, I was like, I got work to do. I have work to do. I have to let go of anger and hurt from people in my past. And I have to learn to forgive, because if this man, with all of this done to him, could forgive his brothers in that moment like that, man, we have work to do. We have work to do. But the power of position is so important, because look at all that he's went through, and look at the position that God has now put him in to save the lives of others and himself. Because, yeah, he was good. Let's say he was financially free, right? He was good. But in his heart, he was probably really hurt from the betrayal from his brothers. But he didn't walk like that, and he didn't talk like that. Clearly. I'm going to read it again. Don't be afraid of me. Am I God that I can punish you? Who are we? Who are we? Yes, our feelings might be valid to be hurt. Our feelings might be valid because we were betrayed. But at the end of the day, who are we? We have no say-so. Trying to get revenge, I've been there, done that. Done with it too, because it don't help. Like, okay, the revenge is done and I still feel empty and I still feel hurt and I still feel stupid. Where does it get you? It satisfies the flesh, but what does it do for the heart? Again, check your heart posture. He said, you intended to harm me, but God intended it all for good. This man has wisdom, because he's looking at his life like, yeah, it's all as bad, but God, I'm trusting that this is all your will. You intended it for good. You have me in a position to help my family, even though they betrayed me and hurt me. You have me in a position to help other people around me. Check your heart posture, y'all. And about this is like I said, this is chapter 50, but when Joseph is like speaking and reassuring his brothers, is chapter 50, verse 14 through 21. If you want to go back and read. But I encourage you all to go read Genesis. Go read Genesis, but most importantly from today, go read Joseph's story. Because it will free you. It really freed me. It really helped me in ways that I didn't know I needed to be helped. But, just back to me in my life, God, I feel like, has always been calling me to leadership my whole life. Like in sports, I was always like the coach or the leader. I was a cheerleader. I was head coach, twirler. I was coach of that. Like I've always been in leadership, right? And now in the workplace, I'm in leadership. I am a part of Seed Soul Harvest, which is a Bible study group led by Denora Pena. Check her out, guys. Join if you want. It's super dope. But I'm the leader. I'm one of the leaders of the New York group. You know how big New York is? I think it's like 60 girls in a New York group. And I'm one of the leaders. Huh? Me? But if I would have never let go of that hardened heart of trying to build community with women, trying to build new bonds with like-minded women, who are on this journey of becoming better versions of themselves and trying to learn, who we are through God's eyes and through God's lens. If I would have never forgave people who hurt me and let go of the hurt from friendship breakups and Just let go of that. I don't want to talk to grown women. I don't want to build bonds with women. I don't want to be friends with nobody. If I wouldn't have let any of that go, I would not be able to be in this position to be a leader, one of the leaders for a Bible study group. I wouldn't even want to be a part of the Bible study group because I would be so stuck on the hurt and betrayal from friendships, in the past with women. So it's important to let go and really let God, not just say it, but really let go and let God do his thing. Because he will put you in position for his will and his glory. It may not make sense in the moment. You may not know what you're doing. You may be hurt and uncomfortable, but that's when you grow the most. So, again, I encourage you, go read about Joseph's story. I gave you a snippet, but go read and dive deeper and see what God wants you to see from it. Every time I read, I always pray, God, whatever you want me to see from this, whatever you want me to learn from this, whatever you want me to apply from my life from it, I hope that I see it. I hope that it jumps out at me and tugs on my heart. But see whatever God needs you to see from Joseph's story. It is very inspiring and it's very encouraging, and it really shows us the power of forgiveness. But yes, if you guys want to join the Bible study, go to seedsowharvest.com, sign up for the mailing list, and Denora will, reach out to you. But I am one of the leaders of the New York group, so I would be, in touch with you very often. We are having a virtual meeting this month. Actually, next Saturday, the 14th, we're having our first virtual Bible study meeting. And even in that, I'm like, me leading a Bible study is crazy. But God is doing his thing, and he's intentional. He had me intentionally sitting down with him, learning his word more, and thirsty to learn more, thirsty to grab and hold on to the word of God. So that way I can learn for myself and I can help others. So that's why, I said I want to restructure the podcast so that way, yes, you can relate to me. You may be going through some things that I've gone through or am going through, and we can relate with one another. And that's amazing. I think that is great. But I think it's even better if I can share with you what I'm learning when I'm reading, because we all want to learn his word. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you are encouraged to read more, get in your word more. I hope you're inspired to learn God and learn about how he loves you so much, how he views you from his lens, and just keep working on becoming a better you. It's a never-ending journey, but it's beautiful. It's worth it. And the little you deserves it. So again, if you're new here, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you're not new here, I hope you enjoy. And make sure you subscribe. And I'll see you when I see you. I'm not going to say next week. No, I am going to try to be better, guys. I really am. But it's just been a lot this season. But I am going to try to get back on consistently posting every week. But I'm not going to say next week because it might not be next week. But I definitely will see you before the end of the year. How about that? I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Bye.